Small token from members of the Board of County Commission and the several staff members and staff in the county manager's office, the county manager, county attorney, and others. And Commissioner Cooksey has asked for a point of personal privilege, and I'm happy to hear from Commissioner Cooksey. We look forward to you sharing some remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When I called Harold this morning and realized I was probably feeling well enough to come and do this evening, I thought, well, I could sit down and write out a poignant some poignant remarks that I could read that would get all the things out on the table that I've been wanting to say. But then I said that would be a waste of a really good afternoon, and so I thought I'd just speak from the heart. So I'm going to speak from the heart this afternoon. And I guess I first want to say that I never thought in all my years that I'd be able to use this and really mean it, but I want to point out to the news media that's out there that the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I'm still alive and kicking, and I am looking towards this time of my life as a time to reconnect, a time to share memories with people that I've known since childhood. I had a visit on Saturday with probably my oldest friend who I met in the third grade, and we still stay in contact. It's been a real time of blessing for me. I also wanted to spend a moment and just thank the Charlotte community for the way they reached out to me and my family and loved ones. It's really just been unbelievable, and I know that I've taken some actions to kind of maintain my privacy, and I don't do that lightly, but really, if you know somebody who's going through a difficult time in the hospital, it's hard enough to get any rest in a hospital as it is, but it's nigh impossible to get any rest in the hospital if you have visitors coming through the door. So I apologize if some people felt excluded, but you're not the only one. Everyone else has been excluded too. So I would like to recognize at this time probably the one person that has helped me get this far through this journey, the love of my life. My wife Allison is in the audience. Allison, if you would stand up. I call Allison my caregiver, and she's been more than that. She's helped me get through the maze that is the hospital system. And if you ever go through the hospital system, find somebody that you trust that can stand by your side. If you find someone who can do it anywhere like she can, then you'll truly be a blessed person. Also in the audience are my brother and my daughter. Abigail, stand up. Abigail's just finished her freshman year at Chapel Hill, and I couldn't be more proud of you. Abigail's name means, when you get those naming books and you name a child, there's always some kind of name definition, and Abigail means a father's source of joy, and she certainly has been that for me throughout her entire life. And then hailing from Wyoming is my brother Greg. He's out here from Wyoming, so. I want to talk a little bit about where I am in life and where maybe all of us should be. And I've learned through this process a lot about the historical dichotomy between the ways of science and the ways of faith. And the ways of science in my current conditions say that I'm incurable, basically, that there is not a path forward that will take me into a long-term, sustainable course. That's because doctors don't understand everything about the human body that there is to understand. There's another way out there, too, and it's the ways of faith. And the ways of faith are certainly ununderstandable and miraculous. And 2.5 years ago, when I first got this diagnosis, I thought there was about a 0% chance that I'd be here today. And I'm still here, and I've probably had, despite all the setbacks that I've had, some of the best 2.5 years that I've ever had in my life. I've done things with my kids and my wife that I'll never forget, and I hope they never forget. And it's been a real blessing. So tonight, I guess what I want to say is it's that ways of faith that I want you to focus on, and I want you to focus on lifting up those who are downtrodden and need it, doing something out of the ordinary or unexpected for somebody that you don't know, just praying without ceasing. Make your whole life be a prayer to Christ above. And I'm not praying, so I think I'm allowed to say that, Marvin. But let your whole life be a prayer. I guess I'd like to close by just suggesting to you that, well, actually, I do want to add a little bit of politics to this. This being the 4th of July, there was something I want to say about politics, and I think it's appropriate. Many of you know that I'm kind of an Abraham Lincoln fan, and recently I was reading a portion of a biography of Abraham Lincoln about the Lincoln-Douglas debates. And that was an election, an important election in a frontier state that was a long way from the center of what was then the metropolis, then the center of our country. And they had 10 or 11, 12 debates. I can't remember what the number is. But they would have thousands of people come and listen to those debates. And thousands more people read the text of those debates in the paper the next day. And this was before we had all the recording equipment and all the other stuff that we had today. So people from the newspaper would take notes and jot down what transpired, and they'd print it as best they could, word for word, and then people would read it word for word in the paper the next day. That was the level of interest in our political culture back then. And I pray for this nation as we move forward that we have that level of interest again, that we really have a new birth of freedom, a new birth where people take seriously their rights, their obligations as citizens of this country, and that more people get involved in the political process. You know, if people would get involved in the political process and invite and elect representatives that they're truly proud of and they truly respect, then a lot of these issues that we see on the newspaper every day would go by. But I'm afraid and I'm ashamed to say that I think a lot of our issues either evolve out of apathy or people wanting to toot their own horn and be more than just wanting people to make a career out of politics as opposed to making it an avocation and a duty. And I respect my colleagues here who have decided to go on and go try for higher offices. I wish you both luck in your race, and I hope you have a very civil race. And my hope is that as we move into this election season, and I frankly have been guilty of this as much as other people, have more civility, and it's easy to say, but have more civility in our political discourse. And I realize how important that is now, looking back on my 2.5 terms of public service. So I leave you tonight with just this one admonition. When you get home tonight, well, first of all, I thank you for coming out and showing your interest in public affairs tonight. But when you get home tonight, there are special people in your life that you spend time with, that you care enough to build a life together. Make sure that you hug that person a little extra harder, that you go out of your way to be a little extra nicer. One of the things that you realize in a hospital is that you're completely dependent upon other people for your care. And if you're an ogre in the hospital, you're not going to get very good care. Likewise, if you're an ogre to your husband or your children, I think you can expect them to be ogres right back at you, and it's a vicious cycle. So be a little gentler, a little more loving, and it'll serve you well. So with that, I'm not going to stay for the meeting tonight. I wanted to just say goodbye in my own way, and hope that you guys have a productive meeting. I may go watch NCIS. And leave you guys to your devices. And the Lord willing, I'll see you at the August meeting.
Good deal.
Okay?
I don't know.